Haha, the world's population. Welcome to Waffle Ladders, where today we're talking about the world's population and the 10 reasons that it might not be what you see. 8 billion people, or so they say. At least that's what they want you to believe. Because let's be real, who's actually counting? Some dude with a clipboard in a hut somewhere, tallying the people in the jungle? That's not likely, right? Today, we're diving into the real reasons why those official numbers might be just as legit as a Rolex watch you bought from a guy on a park bench. This is definitely going to make you think twice about overpopulation. Let's climb the ladder. Number 10, census accuracy is a myth. You ever try to count your socks after doing laundry? 2 of them vanish into some parallel dimension. Now imagine trying to count billions of people across thousands of regions, language, and worn-torn wastelands. Still think those numbers are rock solid? Yeah, me either. Some countries still rely on door-to-door surveys, which assumes no one lies, forgets, or just doesn't answer the door. And when do they count? They use outdated formulas, guesstimates, and the classic, let's just round up method. Multiply a tiny error by billions and poof, you've got yourself a widely inflated global head count. Number 9, inflating the numbers for cash. Look, if there's one thing governments love, it's free money. And guess what? The more people they claim to have, the more international aid, budget justifications, and economic incentives they can milk. Why be a modest nation of 50 million when you can just fudge the books and claim 75 million? Boom, instant funding boost. USAID, anyone? When the incentives are all for bigger numbers, why would you expect an accurate number? Number 8, political power moves. In the global chess game, population equals power. More people means more representation, more leverage in trade deals, and a nice seat at the big boy table. Think no one's accidentally overcounted a few million? Think again. Remember, in the US House of Representatives, seats are apportioned by population. The more people, the more power. Yeah, that's a pretty big incentive to exaggerate, wouldn't you say? Number 7, ghost populations.
Do I count in the census?
I'm pretty sure you're in. You know, what's easier than inflating numbers? Forgetting to subtract the dead ones. With all incentives linked to higher numbers, places with sketchy record keeping keep counting people who've been 6 feet under for years, but are still collecting social benefits, keeping their voting and yet being counted in the census. And let's not forget our nomadic friends, migrants, seasonal workers, and anyone with more than one address who gets counted twice, or 3 times, or 4, maybe even 5. If no one's watching, what's the difference? Number 6, the overpopulation panic button. Ever notice how overpopulation is always framed as the next big apocalypse? Climate doomers love throwing around scary numbers. But here's the thing. If you want to push a global agenda, say more control over resources, policies, or the ultimate control over you, then it really helps to convince people that we're all about to be crushed under the weight of our own existence. Overinflate the population stats, slap on a crisis label, and voila! Instant justification for new taxes, social controls, and whatever else they have cooking. Number 5, birth rate shenanigans. So get this, some countries are still rocking birth rate models from the 50s. Yeah, the era of hula hoops and poodle skirts. Back when everyone was having babies like it was a competitive sport. Meanwhile, in many developed countries, birth rates are dropping faster than your cousin's crypto portfolio. But do the census models care? Nope. They're lagging behind by decades. It's like using a flip phone to predict the stock market, or thinking the Dippin' Dots are the future of ice cream. We're working with numbers so old, they could be written in Roman numerals. Number 4, no one's checking the math. Here's the kicker. There's no global referee fact-checking these numbers. The UN, World Bank, and national governments just take each other's word for it. Because what's the worst that could happen? It's not like they have a history of, lying about major statistics or anything else, right? Instead of trust but verify, it's don't question me and I won't question you paradigm. So yeah, any number they spout are sus. Number 3, war zones and failed states. Still somehow reporting numbers? You ever wonder how war-torn, failed states with zero infrastructure somehow manage to foul their population numbers with international agencies? No? Well, that's why I'm here, to do the heavy lifting. We are actually supposed to believe that countries where finding food is a challenge are accurately tracking millions of people. Either they have the world's most dedicated census workers, or someone's making up numbers in the back office with a set of dice and a Ouija board. Yeah, I'm leaning Ouija board. Number 2, who counts as a person anyway? Turns out different countries have different definitions of a resident. Some count long-term visitors, others don't count half their own citizens. Some even count people who have left the country. That's because there's no universal standard. So what even is a country's population? Whatever sounds good in a press release and gets you the most benefit and cash and other stuff. There is no penalty for lying, only reward, because no one's checking. And if no one's watching, you might as well count pets too. Always remember, there are no limitations on what you can put on a fake document. Number 1, the math doesn't add up. And finally, the biggest mystery of all. Let's do some simple math here. If you add up the populations of the United States' 100 biggest cities, you get about 64 million people. However, the current estimate of the total population is 341 million. That is only about 20% of the total. It's weird. That means that over 80% of people supposedly live in rural areas. But where? Let's take it bigger. If you take the 1,000 biggest cities in the United States, you get about 120 million people. This is only 36% of the total. There is zero chance 64% of the people live in rural areas. And you can do the same math with the world population, or any country for that matter. So what do you think? Have we been sold a massive population scam? Or is this just another case of trust the experts because they know best? I'd say they are a big bunch of liars, but that's just me. You know what? Drop your theories in the comments. And hey, if you think we earned it, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep climbing. And in the morning, I'm making waffles.